Have you ever wished you could practice English anytime, anywhere, even without a teacher or a speaking partner? Imagine having someone who listens to you, corrects your mistakes, explains grammar, helps you write better, and even talks to you like a friend, all for free or at a very low cost. That's exactly what I discovered when I started learning English with ChatGPT. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to share with you exactly how I use ChatGPT to improve my English speaking, writing, grammar, and vocabulary, all without traditional classes or expensive teachers. I'll show you my daily routine, the prompts I use, how I practice conversations, and even how I get feedback like a real tutor. By the end of this video, you'll know how to turn ChatGPT into your personal English coach, one that's available 24/7 and helps you learn naturally through real communication. So let's dive right in. My starting point: why I needed a change. Before I found ChatGPT, my English learning looked like this: watching random videos, memorizing grammar rules, trying to understand native speakers, and then forgetting half of what I learned. I had the motivation, but I didn't have structure. I didn't have anyone to talk to. I couldn't practice real conversations because I was afraid of making mistakes, or didn't have someone available to practice with. That's when I realized something important. English is not a subject, it's a skill. And to build a skill, you need to practice it, not just study it. But practicing alone was tough, until I met ChatGPT. First, I didn't think much of it. I thought it was just a tool for writing essays or generating text. But when I started chatting with it regularly, something amazing happened. My confidence grew, my vocabulary expanded, and my grammar mistakes started disappearing naturally. Let me show you how I used it step by step. Step 1: turning ChatGPT into a speaking partner. The first thing I did was treat ChatGPT as my conversation partner. Every day I would open it and start chatting in English just like I would with a friend. Here's how I started. I would type something simple like, "Let's have a conversation in English. Please correct my mistakes and explain them after I finish each message." And that's it. ChatGPT would respond in English, correct me politely, and even explain why I was wrong. It was like having a personal teacher who never judged me. The best part? I didn't have to feel nervous or shy. I could take my time, think before typing, and practice real-life topics: introductions, travel, work, emotions, even jokes. After a few days, I started noticing changes. I stopped translating sentences from my native language. I started thinking in English. My confidence grew because I was using English every single day. If you're shy to talk to people in English, ChatGPT is your best first partner. It's patient, friendly, and will never laugh at your mistakes. But I didn't stop there. Step 2: practicing real conversations, simulations. Once I got comfortable chatting, I moved to simulated conversations. This means I would ask ChatGPT to play a role like a shopkeeper, a job interviewer, or a travel guide. For example, I would type, "Let's pretend you're an interviewer, and I'm applying for a job. Ask me common questions in English one by one, and correct my answers." Or, "Let's role play. I'm at a restaurant in London, and you're the waiter. Ask me questions about my order." This made learning fun, practical, and interactive. I wasn't just learning words. I was learning situations. I learned how to order food, how to make small talk, how to express opinions, and how to respond naturally, not like a textbook. ChatGPT made it feel real. And because I practiced these short scenarios every day, I started feeling ready to speak with real people. After a month, when I met a foreigner in a coffee shop, I could actually talk with confidence. Step 3: using ChatGPT to improve writing skills. Speaking is one part. Writing is another. I use ChatGPT as my personal editor and writing coach. Here's what I did. Every day I wrote a short paragraph about my day, something like, "Today I woke up late, made breakfast, watched a movie, and studied English. Then I asked ChatGPT, "Can you correct this paragraph and explain the grammar mistakes?" It corrected me and explained everything clearly. I learned why "I watched movie" was wrong and should be "I watched a movie." Or why "I am study English" should be "I am studying English." By doing this daily, I built grammar naturally, not through memorization but through use. Then I took it one step further. I started writing small essays on random topics, like the benefits of learning English or my favorite place. ChatGPT gave me feedback, what was good, what could be improved, and how to make my writing more natural. Over time, my writing improved drastically. I started using better words, more natural sentences, and better structure. Step 4: Vocabulary practice the smart way. Most learners struggle with remembering new words. I used to write new vocabulary in a notebook but never review it. Now I use ChatGPT for context learning. Here's how it works. When I learn a new word like determine, I ask ChatGPT, "Give me 5 example sentences with the word determine, and one short story using it." By reading those examples, I understand how to use the word. Then I create my own sentences and ask ChatGPT to correct them. This technique made vocabulary stick in my memory because I was using it, not just reading it. I also asked ChatGPT to quiz me. For example, give me a vocabulary quiz of 10 words about travel. It would ask me, what does itinerary mean? Or choose the correct sentence using the word destination. Learning through quizzes kept me engaged. It felt like playing a game, but I was building my English naturally. Step 5: Improving pronunciation, even without speaking out loud. You might think pronunciation is impossible with text, but ChatGPT helped here too. I would type, "How do you pronounce the word thought? Can you explain it phonetically?" ChatGPT would describe how to position my tongue and mouth. Then I would use text-to-speech tools or YouTube to listen to how native speakers pronounce it. Sometimes I would ask, what are some common pronunciation mistakes by learners with my language background? ChatGPT gave me a list and told me how to fix each one. I also practiced speaking by reading aloud the conversations I had written with ChatGPT. That way, I was training both my speaking and reading at the same time. Step 6: Building daily English habits with ChatGPT. Now let's talk about how I made it a routine. Learning only works if you do it every day, even for just a few minutes. So I created a 15-minute daily plan with ChatGPT. Minute 1 to 3. Start a short conversation like, "What's your opinion about learning new skills?" Minute 4 to 6. Ask ChatGPT to correct my mistakes and explain them. Minute 7 to 10. Learn 2 or 3 new words from our conversation and ask for examples. Minute 11 to 13. Write a small paragraph using those new words. Minute 14 to 15. Ask for feedback and suggestions to sound more natural. That's it. Just 15 minutes. But it was consistent, and that consistency made all the difference. Even on busy days, I would open ChatGPT on my phone while traveling or before sleeping. English became part of my daily life, not something I had to force. Step 7: Thinking in English with ChatGPT. One of the biggest breakthroughs came when I realized I could use ChatGPT to train my thinking. Here's what I mean. Instead of translating from my native language, I started describing my thoughts directly in English, even if it wasn't perfect. For example, I would type, "I'm trying to explain how I feel today, but I can't find the right words. Can you help me express this better in English?" ChatGPT would rewrite my sentences naturally, and I'd compare the two. I noticed how English sentences are structured differently, how they sound more direct and rhythmic. Over time, I started thinking that way automatically. Eventually, I didn't need to translate anymore. When I saw something, my brain described it in English instantly. That's when I knew I had made a real transformation. Step 8. Learning grammar without studying grammar. I never opened a grammar book again. Instead, I learned grammar by using ChatGPT in real conversations. If I was unsure about something like should I say I have gone or I went, I'd ask ChatGPT. It didn't just tell me the rule, it gave examples, explained the difference, and made me practice with short exercises. I'd say, give me 5 sentences with blanks, and I'll fill in the correct tense. After answering, I'd ask it to check my answers. That's how I learned grammar naturally, through real use, not memorization. I also used ChatGPT to track my improvement. Once a week I'd ask, let's do a short test. Ask me questions about daily life, correct my mistakes, and tell me what improved since last week. It would highlight that my sentence structure was smoother, or that my vocabulary had grown. That feedback kept me motivated. I wasn't comparing myself to others, I was comparing myself to my past self. And that's how progress truly feels rewarding. Learning English doesn't have to be serious all the time. Sometimes I use ChatGPT to play games in English. For example, I'd say, let's play a word association game. Or, give me a mystery story and let me guess what happens next. This made learning fun. I wasn't studying, I was enjoying English. I also asked ChatGPT to talk about topics I love, like technology, motivation, or travel. That way, I learned real vocabulary I actually used in daily life. When you connect English with your interests, it stops feeling like a chore and becomes something you look forward to. I noticed some mistakes most learners make when using ChatGPT, and I made them too at first. Mistake 1. Copying everything ChatGPT says without understanding. Remember, the goal is to learn, not to collect perfect answers. Always read the explanations. Mistake 2. Not asking for corrections. If you just chat without feedback, you won't improve much. Always ask ChatGPT to correct your grammar and vocabulary. Mistake 3. Being inconsistent. Practicing once a week won't help. Make it a daily habit, even for 10 minutes. Mistake 4. Using ChatGPT only for writing, not speaking or listening. You can use it to create dialogues, scripts, and listening materials too. Once I fixed these mistakes, my learning became faster and more natural. Here's the truth. No AI can replace real human conversation, but ChatGPT gave me the foundation and confidence I needed. After weeks of daily chat, I started using what I learned in real conversations, online meetings, voice calls, or even with tourists. When someone spoke English, I didn't panic. I was calm because I had already practiced similar situations. I had built muscle memory for my brain. ChatGPT gave me the safe space to practice, so I could perform better in the real world. After 90 days of consistent practice, here's what changed for me. I could hold conversations confidently. I could write paragraphs and emails fluently. My grammar mistakes reduced naturally. I started thinking in English. And most importantly, I started enjoying English. It wasn't about perfection. It was about progress. And ChatGPT became my best learning companion on that journey. If you want to start learning English with ChatGPT, here's what you can do today. Open ChatGPT and start a conversation in English. Tell it to correct your mistakes and explain them. Write one short paragraph about your day. Ask it to make a small quiz or role play. Do it daily for at least 10 to 15 minutes. You don't need expensive classes. You don't need to wait for the perfect time. You just need to start today. Learning English doesn't have to be stressful or boring. It doesn't require long grammar books or memorizing lists. What it really needs is daily connection, using English in real situations. ChatGPT helped me build that connection. It helped me learn naturally, correct my mistakes, and practice without fear. If you do the same, if you make ChatGPT your English companion, you'll see improvement faster than you expect. Remember, fluency isn't about knowing everything. It's about using what you know confidently, and ChatGPT can help you do exactly that. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a like and share it with others who are learning English. And if you want more videos on how to learn English naturally without stress, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll continue learning English the smart, simple, and natural way. Thanks for watching, and remember, the best way to learn English is to live it, even if it starts with just one conversation a day.